Hello everyone, I'm Tariq Karima, the Technical Manager for the Middle East and North Africa. I'm making this recording for you in order to show you how to customize courses in the new experience. So I'm going to show you how to modify or add content in the new experience, how to create customized quizzes, how to create assignments, and how to grade them, and how to manage the gradebook, and how to import customization from a course to another. So let me share my screen and share with you the content. Okay, so here I created the Get Connected course in the new experience, and as you can see, this is how it looks like in the new experience. Here on the left side, we have this menu or navigation menu. We have first the course home. If I want to get back always to the main page, I have also the grade tab where you could check the grade book for your students, and also if you want to set up the grade book for the course. And I'm going to show you later how we will do it. And please mark that the course total, the total mark is 100. Okay. We also have the Assessment Center tab here, but as this course is an online course and the final exam will be activated automatically once the students complete the survey, we will not find any exam here to be activated. So if I click on Create Activations, so I will not find any exam to activate. Okay. We have also a very handy tool which is the View a Student. So let's say we made some customization and I want to see how it looks like from a student perspective. So I could just click on View a Student to see how it's going to be the look for them. Okay. You could always click on Switch Back to return to the instructor view. We have also the messages feature where you could send messages to your students. Okay. So if you are going to use this tool, the student will receive messages in the Messages tab on their platform. Okay, it will not arrive to their email accounts. It will arrive to the Messages tab on the NetAcad platform. Let me see you how we could just send a message to a student. All you can do is go to click on Compose, choose the course, click Continue. You could add a recipient. For example, I will add Tariq Karima. Click 2. This is the student account, by the way, that I just created. Then I will click on Apply. I will put the subject, message, I could add or I could attach a file, and then I could just click on Send. Okay, and then I will find my message located here under the Send tab. Okay, let me show you. I'm going to connect to my student account and to show you how the message will appear for him. So this is my student account, Tariq Karima student account. You can just check on messages, and then you will find the message from his instructor. Okay, and he could reply to it. Okay, one moment, and click Send. Okay, so I will return back to my instructor page, and I can see here that I received a new message from my student. Okay, so that's regarding the Messages tab. Okay, we have also the Calendar tab where you could see the events. So in order you could mark your event, you could always use the Calendar tab. Okay, so now let me start by showing you how to modify or add content. So first, you can click here on the gear icon and click on Turn Editing On. So you could just click here, and then you will have beside every module or every section, you will have the option to hide it or to unhide it. So maybe here I could just click on edit and then click on hide topic if I want to hide module 1, for example. If I want to unhide it, I could just, or to show the topic again, I will click on edit and then show topic. Okay. Okay. Let's say also if I want to put some restriction or some dependencies between the modules. For example, if I want module 5 to be visible only after the completion of module 4, I could set this type of restriction, you know. First, you know, for example, if I want to hide this content for module 5, I could just click on edit, I could hide it, or we have some advanced settings. Maybe I could set a restriction by activity or by time. Let me show you how. So you could just click on edit and edit settings. Okay. Then I will go to restrict access. Okay. Then I will add a restriction. And here I have many options. I could set a restriction by activity completion, by course completed, by date, by grade, by user profile, okay, or by restriction set. Here, for example, I'm gonna create a restriction by an activity completion. So I will require, for example, module 4 to be completed in order to activate module 5, the content of module 5 for my students. So what I can do is to click on activity completion. I will choose, for example, module 4. So, and it must be marked as complete in order the student could access the content of module 5. And then I could click save and return to the course, or save and display. Okay. Let me first show the content. Yes, and as you can see here, I just created my restrictions. So the content of module 5 will not be available until module 4 is marked complete. Okay. I can do the same for module 5, module exam, for the module exam for module 5. So I could just click also on edit and then edit settings. And then I will click on restrict access. And this time I could just add a restriction by date. So I could prevent access until a specified date and time. So I will click on date. I could say, for example, that this module exam will not be available before 14th of November at 9 a.m. Okay. So here, by setting this rule or this restriction, our student will not be able to access the exam for module 5 before the 14th of November. So I will click save and return to course. And as you can see here, I just applied my restriction, and as you can see the message here, and this module exam will be available from the 14th of November. Okay, so that's regarding hiding or showing content on how to create restrictions. I'm gonna also show you how to add resources. For example, if you have this module 3, the internet, if it's a bit difficult, if I want to add more resources to help our student to understand the topic, you know, I can just click on add an activity or resource here under the section, the module 3 section. And then maybe I could just add a label or a diagram, for example. If I want to add a diagram for them in order to explain to them how the internet works, so I could just click on label, then add. And here we have several options. You know, by clicking here, I could insert or edit an image. I could insert as well an audio or video file. I could record an audio or record a video. Okay, let's say that I'm going to add a diagram for my students here. So all I can do is just enter small description, click on the image icon, browse repositories, upload the file, and here I will add my diagram. Then I will click on upload this file. Okay, so I need to just put a small description for someone who cannot see it. So I could see here the internet diagram. I could here change the size if I want. I want to adjust the alignment as you wish, and I could click on Save Image. Then I will click on Save and Return to Course. And as you can see here, I'm able to see my diagram. If I want to change its location, I could just click here and drag and drop it at the beginning, for example. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, let's say also I have a document that I want to add for my student in order they could check it. They could have more information about this topic. I could also click on Add an Activity or Resource. Click on File. Click Add. The internet. I could set the name. Sorry. And select the file. Choose File. And then I will attach my Word document. Okay. Then I will click on Save and Return to Course. So here I added this Word document in order to help my students to learn more about the internet, for example. Also, if you need to add a video to explain to them the content as well, you can do so by clicking also and Add an Activity or Resource, Label, then Add. And here I could click on the Insert or video or audio file. I will choose the video tab, and here I'm going to paste my link. Okay, then I will click on Insert Media, then Save and Return to Course. So now you can see I just added my video that will give them more description about the content. If you want to see how it's going to be, how it's going to look like, how it's going to be the view as a student, I can just go here, click View as Student to see the view for them. Okay, so here you can see they can see the diagram, the original content, my file here, and the video. Okay, that I just added.
So, how does the internet?
Okay. Also, they could download the Word file that I just added for them, and they could check its content. Okay. Okay. Fine. So I will return back and switch back to the instructor view. So now I just showed you how to modify or add content to your course. Now I could show you how to create quizzes, okay? And before we create our quiz, I just want to we have to create a question bank where we are going to include all the questions coming from the modules exam. Okay, so I will take all the questions of the module exam and I will include it in this question bank. And then I will configure my quizzes to select questions from this question bank. Okay. So let me show you how to create our. And by the way, a note: we cannot use the question of the final exam and to create a question bank out of them. So we can only use the questions from the module exams, not from the final exam. Okay. So now I'm gonna create my question bank. So I will click on the gear icon here, then more, and here we have the question bank section, and I will click on categories. So here I'm going to choose the parent category for our question bank. I will select top for get connected course, and then let me name our new category or our new question bank. I will set the name to quizzes, for example. And then I will click add category. Okay, so now I created my new category. Okay, it's listed here under the select a category. I can see it here. Now I'm going to move the module exam, the question of the module exams from module 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to move those questions. I will transfer them to my newly created category, to the quizzes category that I just created for my quizzes. Okay, so how we are going to do it? I'm going to first select module 1 category, and then I could see all the questions associated with this category or associated with the module 1 exam. I could select them all, and then I could click on move to quizzes. Okay. So now I just transferred 7 questions from module 1 exam to my new question bank, which called quizzes. Okay. I'm going to do the same for module 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to select module 2, select all the questions. If you want to select a part of them as you wish, you have all options. And I'm going to move to those 5 questions to my question bank. And I will click move to. As you can see, the number of questions in my question bank has been raised to 12. We'll do the same for module 3. Module 4. And module 5. I'm sorry. So module 5. Okay. So now I just create a question bank with all the questions coming from the module exam. Okay, from the 5 module exam that I have for this course. Okay. If you want, for example, create a new question and to add it to this question bank, I could just click on create a new question. You could choose the question type to add. Let's say I'm going to add a true-false question. So I will click on true-false. And let me create a new question and add it to this question bank. So I will check true-false and then click on add. Select the category. Question name, I will set it a new question. 1, for example. And let me edit here my questions. So I have already okay, so this is going to be my question. I'm going to paste it here. So 1 is a computer network that covers a small geographic area. This is a wrong statement. Okay. So I will set the default mark to 20. So this is not a correct answer. So that's why correct answer is false. And I will set the feedback for the response true here. So if the student answered true, so he will get this feedback. No, it's a wrong answer, then is the correct answer. Okay. And also I will set the feedback for the response false. Okay. So false is the correct answer. And then I will click on Save Changes. If I want to locate my new question, I can see here I could edit it once again. I could duplicate it if I want. If I want to preview it, I could just click on preview, and I'm going to see my question. Okay? Okay, fine. Now I created my question bank. I'm going to create or to configure my quiz. Okay? So first, before here, I'm going to create two quizzes, okay? One quiz that will serve as a practical quiz, so student can do it many times. It would be an easier quiz with fixed questions that will not change. And I will do a second quiz that is more difficult, is more secured, and with different questions, okay? So let me show you how, okay? So first, I'm gonna create and configure my a practice quiz, okay? So I'm gonna click on the gear icon, turn editing on. I will create a new topic, okay, that is called quizzes. I will click on add topics. I will set the number of sections. I could modify the title. So I will click on the pencil and type quizzes. Okay. Then I will click on add an activity or resource. Okay. Then I will choose quiz, then add. Okay. So I will set the name to practice quiz. Okay. I will configure my quiz. I will set the timing. So I will open, I could open this quiz from a certain date. So I'm going to enable this option. And I'm going to precise that this quiz will be open from the 12th of November. And I will also close it on, for example, on the 14th of November. Okay. I could also set the time limit for my quiz. So I could set it to 5 minutes, for example. You have the option to set it out if you want it 1 hour, set by seconds, by days, as you wish, but I will set it to 5 minutes. And when the time expires here, we have three options, okay? If the student couldn't complete the exam or the quiz before 5 minutes, so his ongoing attempt will be submitted automatically, okay, when the time expires. That's the first option. The second option, if the time expires, he will have a grace period in order he could submit his quiz. But during this time, he will not be able to answer any questions, okay? But he is the one who has to submit the quiz. It will not be done automatically like the first option. And the third option, if he didn't manage to complete the quiz before 5 minutes and the time expires, then his attempt will not be counted, okay? So that's the third option, okay? And for sure, if you want to know if you have more information about each option, you could always click on the question mark to have more information. And also you have the option to click on more help to get, more explanation about each option, okay? Okay, so we set the timing. I will set also the layout. So here I could set the number of questions to be listed by page. You could make all questions on one page. And for me, I prefer to leave one question per new page. Okay, so I will leave it one question per page. And for the navigation method, I will let it free. This is a practice test, so I will let it free. So if I want to make it more difficult, for example, I could choose sequential, okay? But here I'm going to use it free. So the student could return back to previous questions, for example. Okay, that's regarding the layout. For the question behavior, I will shuffle the answer within a question. So I will activate this option. And here we have the option, many options to how to see how questions will behave. So we have deferred feedback, and we have also many other options. If you need more detail, you always could click on the question mark to have more options. But we usually use the deferred feedback and the interactive with multiple tries option. Okay. What is the difference between both of options? So for deferred feedback, so the student will complete all the questions, he will submit the exam, and he will get the feedback at the end. Okay? And I'm going to choose this option for my second quiz, not for this one. For my practice quiz, I'm going to allow my student to do it many times with multiple tries. So in this case, I'm going to choose interactive with multiple tries. Okay. I could also allow, because it is a practice test, I'm going to allow the redo within an attempt. So I'm going to click on that. I could also allow that each attempt build on the result of the previous attempt. So I could also activate this option. Okay. And yes, so I think we are good. Those are the main settings for my practice quiz. So I'm going to click on Save and Return to Course. And I can see here my practice quiz. I will click on it. And it left now. All I have to do is to add questions to my practice quiz. So I'm going to click on Edit Quiz. Click on Add. I have the option to add a new question, or questions from a question bank, or to add random questions. Okay. For my practice test or quiz, I'm going to first show you how to create a new question here, for example. So I clicked on new question. I could choose this time multiple choice, then add. I will choose the category. So I'm going to add this new question also to my question bank. So I will choose the category quizzes that I just created. And I will add the question name, new question. That's my second customized question, the new question 2. Then I will add the question text. So here I have already prepared it. I will set the mark. And maybe here I'm going to allow multiple answers. I could choose that option too. Okay. Yes, I forgot to add this. Okay. With this, like that. And here I'm going to edit my answers, or I'm going to add my answers. So I will go to LAN as a higher data transfer rate. So this is a correct answer. One of the 2 correct answers. So I will set the grade to 50%. For choice 2, LAN is a computer network that covers a broad area. This is not a correct answer, so I will leave the grade to none. Third choice, LAN is a computer network that covers a small geographic area, which is a correct answer. So I will set the grade to 50 because this is our second correct answer. And at the end, LAN has a lower data transfer rate as compared to WAN. This is not a correct answer, so I will leave the grade to none. Okay. Then I'm going to click on Save Changes. So as you can see, I created my new question, and because I selected the category quizzes or my question bank, so it will be located in my question bank. Okay, and now if I want, for example, to see how will the view for this question, so I could just click on preview, and as you can see here, this is my question. So if I could also reply here. Okay, you can see how it will look like. Okay, so now we're fine. I created a new question here. I could also add questions from my question bank. We could click add from question bank. And I could select any questions. Okay, so maybe I could select 4 questions and then click on add selected questions to the quiz. And by the way, those questions will never change. So each time the student will do this practice exam, he will receive the same question. Okay. I could shuffle them also by clicking on the shuffle option. I could adjust the grade for each question in order to have a total, for example, of 100. So I'm going to adjust the mark to 20 for every question. I could also adjust the maximum grade to 100. And as you can see here, the total of marks is 100, and then click on Save. Okay. If I want to see how it will look like from a student perspective, I could click on View a Student. Click on Practice Quiz. Attempt quiz now. Start it. Here, because here I allowed multiple tries and within the same exam, so I could just click any answer. I could just click on check to get an immediate feedback. And if I want to try another question, a similar question or the same question, I could just click on try another question like this one. And then I will get the same question again. So for example, in the default configuration of window, how do you open a folder located on the desktop? Double click to the folder. Let me just answer it and finish the attempt. And at the end, now also the student will get the feedback. Okay. And because I also I set the option to, if I'm gonna try a new attempt, it will start from the result from the previous attempt. Let me show you. So I'm gonna reattempt the quiz, start attempt. As you can see here that my first question or my first answer was saved. So I could just complete the course starting from without the need to redo my previous answer, for example. So I could just start right away from question 2. Okay. Okay. So that's regarding this quiz. Let me create a second one, which is more serious, which is more difficult, which is I need to create it to have the similar experience like the final exam. So I'm going to my quizzes section. Let me first turn editing on. And then I will create a second quiz. Add an activity or resource. Click on quiz, then add. And here, I would say practice, or for example, final practice quiz. Okay. Okay, so I will go through the same options. So I will set the timing. I will open this quiz from the 12th till 14 of November. I will set the time to 5. Okay, so the attempts will be submitted automatically. For the layout, I'm going to keep it as it. This time I'm going to change the navigation method to be sequential. So here, when sequential navigation is enabled, a student must progress through the quiz in order and may not return to previous pages, nor skip ahead. Okay. For question behavior, I'm going to shuffle within questions. I'm going to leave it activated. And then how questions behave, I'm going to choose deferred feedback. So the student will not have a feedback unless he completes all the tests or all the quiz and submit it. And he managed to submit it. Okay. Then he will get a feedback at the end. Okay. I will not enable this time each attempt builds on the last. I will not enable that. That's mainly for practice tests. And here I might try to add extra restrictions to make this exam more difficult. Okay. So to make it more secure, I could just create a password and the student will not be able to start the exam or the quiz without entering this password. So let me set a password for this exam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example. And also here I could restrict the access. No, I could just grant the access to this quiz to a certain subnet. So I also here I could just the IP address of my subnet, the range of IPs separated by commas, for example. If I have a class, I have a subnet, I have a class in a specific subnet, I could just specify the range of IPs here separated by commas. Okay? And this will restrict the access for this subnet only. So only this subnet will be allowed to do the test. I could here also enforce a delay between the first and second attempt. I will not enable it, but if you want to do it, feel free, yes. Or enforce a delay between later attempts. So I could do the same, but I will not enable them this time. For me, the most important option is the browser security. So if you activated this option, let me show you what will happen. You could click on the question mark for a quick explanation. So the quiz will only start if the student has a JavaScript enabled web browser. And also the quiz will open in a new full screen or a pop-up window that cover all the other windows and has no navigation controls. And also students are prevented from doing copy and paste. So these options could help you to maintain the integrity of your quiz. Okay. Okay, so I think this is the only, for me, we usually use these options, for the exam that you wanted more secure and more difficult for your students. So now I think we configured everything, and I will click on Save and Return to Course. Let me click on my new quiz. I am gonna edit it to add more questions. And this time I'm gonna add random questions. So what I'm gonna do this time to make this exam more difficult, I'm gonna configure this quiz to select 5 random questions from my question bank. So each time my student will open or will try to do this test, he will receive 5 different questions. Okay? Not like the previous one, not like the previous practice quiz that we made. Okay? So in order to do so, I will click on Add plus adding a random questions. I will choose my question bank, which is quizzes. I will select the number of random of questions to be imported to my quiz. Maybe I could set it to 5. Then click Add Random Questions. And you can see here, you cannot find, you can see here that in each place, the place of each question it has random. Okay, that means that the system he will select randomly any question and to fill it here and in the next pages as well. Okay, so we will have 5 random quizzes here. I could also click on Shuffle to make it more difficult. I will set the grade. I want the total of marks to be 100, just for this demonstration. Okay, and I will set the maximum grade to 100. Okay, then I will click Save. If I want to check it, if I want to see the View a Student, I could click on View a Student, click on the final practice quiz, attempt the quiz, and then you can see here I need to enter my password 12345. And as you can see here, the exam is generated in a new window. Okay, which Google service? Okay, and then after completing the exam, the student will have a feedback at the end. Okay. Okay, so that's regarding adding or creating customized quizzes. Okay. Let me show you now how to create assignments and how to create assignments. So I'm going to click on the gear icon, turn editing on, and I'm going to add a new section for assignments. So I'm going to click for a new topic. Okay, I will click on Add Topic. Number of section, I will set it to 1. I will modify the name. I will change it to assignments. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my assignment to this section or to this topic. Okay, so I will click on Add an Activity or Resource, Assignment, then Add. Okay, and the assignment name I will set Online Assignment, or make it assignment. Okay, option 1. Okay, before starting here, I'm going to create for my demonstration. I'm going to create 2 options or 2 assignments. Okay, so option 1, I'm going to create an online assignment for my students, and they will be able to reply to my assignment online. Okay, via the platform. I'm going also to create a second assignment by sharing a document. Okay. The assignment, I'm going to attach a document where the student will have to fill it, and then they will have to re-upload it to the platform, and then I will give my feedback using this document. Okay, so we have to type an online assignment or assignment by sharing documents. So let me show you the difference between both. Okay, so first I'm going to create an online assignment. Okay, so I set the assignment name to assignment option 1. I will add a description here. So let me. Okay. I could add an additional file if I want. Okay, so I will allow for the availability. I'm going to configure the availability. I could allow the submission from to the 12th and the 19th, for example. And by the way, any assignment that will be submitted after the 19th will be marked as delayed. Okay. So the students will have the option to submit the assignment after the 19th of November, but they will be marked as delayed. Or if you want to see more information, I could just click on the question mark here. Yes, will be marked as late. Okay, so any assignment submitted after this date will be marked as late. But the student will be able always to send assignment after this date. If I want to prevent, if I want to set a cutoff date and to prevent any submission after the 19th, I could just check this option, cutoff date, check enable, and set it to the 19th of November. Okay? Okay. Same time, for example. And this option remind me to grade by. This option is for instructors, so I could just set a reminder for 1 week for our instructor to complete the to evaluate the assignments. Okay, so I could just set a reminder for our instructors, okay, to evaluate, to remind them about grading the assignment. Okay, that's the option. Okay, we have also the submission types. As I said, that we are going to create first an online assignment, so I will not enable the file submission this time. I'm going to enable online text. So I'm going to make using mainly our platform for this to submit or to create and submit the assignment. So I will choose online text. I could set the word limit to, for example, 500. I could also configure the feedback types. Here we have feedback comments and feedback files. In our case here, for the online assignment, I'm going to activate only the feedback comments, and I will activate the feedback, or I will choose the feedback files in case I'm going to do, for my second assignment, where I'm going to enable the file submission. Okay. But for now, I'm going just to enable the feedback comments, and I will enable also the comment inline where I could, update or comment on my students' homework inline. I will show you how. Okay, I will show you how we can go through the different options. Also, let me set the submission settings. So, require student to click the submit button. Yes, I will activate it. Require the student accept the submission statement. Yes, I'm going to enable this. I could allow also the attempts to be reopened. Okay, I'm not going to do this time, so I'm going to set it to never. Also, regarding the notification, I could enable this option, notify graders about submission. So I will set it to yes. Notify graders about the late submission. It's only yes when you choose the first option, but you cannot. This one will be grayed out. And by default setting for notify students, so I will leave it as it is, yes. Okay. For the grade, I will leave the type of grading to points. Maximum grade is 100. The grading method, I will leave it as it is, simple direct grading. And I will set the grade to pass to 770, for example. Okay. I could also activate this option, blind marking, if I want, for example, to hide the identity of my students. I could just click on that. If I want, for example, to prevent favoritism. Okay. Also, I could hide the grader identity from students. I could do that as well. Okay, just to maintain the privacy of our evaluators, or our graders. And that's all. Okay, I could click on save and return to course. So now I created my online assignment. I could just check it. And for now, I can see here that this assignment has been sent to all my 3 students who are enrolled to this course. None of them has put the assignment on draft, or none of them has submitted, or I haven't received any assignment for grading. Okay, I could also click on the button view all submissions to see if any student managed to submit the assignment. So you can see here, and as you can see, the identity of our student is hid. Sorry. Okay. we cannot see the identity of our student. Okay? It's hidden. Okay. Okay. So for now, let me try to log in from a student account and to complete this online assignment to show you. So I will go here. This is a student account. You will see the assignment here. You will click on Add Submission. And as you can see, he could answer here in the online text tab. Okay. So let me show you. So your students could answer online. Then they could submit, save changes, and then they could submit their assignment online. Okay. Let me return back to the instructor, to my course. I will return back to my assignment. And then I will click on View All Submissions. And as you can see here, the status changed. So I have now one assignment that needs grading. Okay, so I'm going to click on View All Submissions. As you can see here, I find, also the identity of the student remain hidden for me. If I want to grade it, to grade this assignment, I just can click on Grade. Click on the plus icon to see his answer. As you can see here, I can see his answer to my assignment. I could add a comment here. For me, this is the correct answer, so I'm going to set the grade to 100. And I could put my feedback or my comments in line as I enabled this assignment configuration. So I could just say correct here, change the set it to bold, and I could leave also my feedback here. Okay. Then I will click. I could mark the notify student option. Then I will click on save changes, and then OK. If I want to change the user, you have the option to change the user from here. Also to go one by one and do the grading. Okay, you have this option. Okay, for other students, for example. So let me return back here. So click again on View All Submissions. As you can see here, the status has changed to graded. The note set to 100, and I left my comment in line. Okay, as you can see, so everything regarding this assignment was done online. Okay. So that's regarding the option 1, how to do online, assignment using the online text. Now I'm going to create a new assignment and use the file submission type. Let me go back to my course. I will add an activity or resource under my assignment topic. Add an activity or resource. Then assignment, add. And here, let's say assignment option 2. I will not need I could put a description here, but I will not do that. And here, I'm going to use this time the additional files. I'm going to upload my assignment, okay, using a Word document. So I'm going to just click. So let's say I created an assignment. This is my document, and I'm going to edit. Sorry, let me close this. Let me edit here, upload a file, this file, then assignment, and upload this file. I will do the same. I will allow the submission from for 1 week, from the 12th to the 19th. I could set also the cutoff date, to the 19th, or maybe I will not enable it this time. I will set the remind me to grade by, so I will remind our instructor to finish the grading for this assignment before the 26th of November. So they have 1 week, or maybe just 1 week to finish the grading. Submission types. This time I'm going to choose file submissions. If you want to have more information, you could click on the question mark. If enabled, students are able to upload 1 or more files as their submission. Okay. This time the assignment will be done through Word document, okay, or through file submissions. I could set the maximum number of uploaded files to 20 or 5 as I want. The maximum submission size, I could just set it to 20. I could set also the accepted file types. For example, let me choose here the document files. I will allow only document files to be uploaded. Then click on Save Changes. For the feedback type, this time I could just choose the feedback files. And if you want to see more information, if enabled, the teacher will be able to upload files with feedback when marking assignment submission. Okay, so this file may be, but are not limited to marked up student submission, document with comments, or spoken audio feedback. Okay, so for file submission, we mainly use feedback files. Okay. For the submission settings, so require student to click the submit button, I will click yes. Require that student accept the submission statement, I will click yes. And maybe here I'm gonna allow, I will activate the attempts reopened. I could set it to manually. So as you can see here, so if I set it to never, the submission cannot be reopened. If I set it to manually, the submission can be reopened by a teacher. And if I set it to automatically until pass, so then the submission is automatically reopened until the student achieves the grade to pass the assignment. Okay. So let me here. So I set it to manually, and maybe I could allow several attempts. Let me allow, for example, 3 attempts for my student. Okay. For the notification, I will activate this, notify grader about submission, and by default, I will notify our students. So I will leave it to yes. And at the end, I'm gonna set the grade for this assignment. So I leave everything as it is, and I will set the grade to pass to 70. And this time, I will not hide the identity. I will not enable this option, so I will not hide the identity of our student. And I will do the same also. I will not hide the identity of the graders as well. So I will leave those both options. I will leave them deactivated. Okay. Then I will click on Save and Return to Course. And let me now check the view as student for this. Or let me go to our student account and let's try to submit this assignment. So I'm now on my student account, I just click on Course Home, Assignment Option 2, at Submission. So the student, he could download this file, edit it, and then he could re-upload it here. So let's say the student here, Karima, has completed the assignment, he completed the file, and he wants to re-upload it here. Just could click. Let me show you what's going to be his answer, for example. So he answered, and he added his answer here. So I will click here, choose file, and then upload this file, save changes, submit assignment. So let me return back to my course and see the status of this assignment. And I can see here, Karima managed to submit this assignment, so I could click on View All Submissions. If I want to grade it, I will just click on Grade. I'm sorry, I just want to show you one option here. View All Submissions. You can see here that the identity of the student, is reviewed. I can see the identity of his name and his email address. Okay, I just wanted to show you the difference. Okay, and I will click on Grade. I will download Tariq answer. Okay, I will modify it, and let's say that's gonna be my feedback. Okay, so I downloaded his answer. I added my feedback here, and then I will re-upload my feedback here. Okay, choose upload a file, choose file, and then I will upload my feedback, and I will set the grade to 100. Then save changes. Okay, so now if I click on View All Submissions again, I can see that I set the grade to 100, and the status has been changed for the Tariq Karima assignment to graded. Here you can locate the file that already, the file submission of the answer of my student. And here the feedback files, you can see the feedback files that I just created, that the instructor or that I just added, okay, to complete the grading for this assignment. Okay, so that's regarding the assignment. I really need to show you also a very handy option, which is the quick grading option. Okay. For example, if I want to do, a quick grading for a group of students all at once in one click, I could just click on that. Okay. Just let me open to you another course that I'm just creating, and I will show you how the quick grading option works. Okay, so I have here another course created. Okay, so let's assume that all of my students have submitted their assignments. So I'm going to click on View All Submissions. And if, for example, I have the option, for example, when I click on quick grading, you can see here, I could just set the grades here directly, okay, without clicking on grade for each student and go one by one. Also, if I want, for example, to choose a grading action, if I want, for example, to download all the assignments submitted by my students, I could just click here, click on download all submissions, or they're going to be compressed in a zip file. So I could download it, check them all, and then I'm going to grade all my students all at once. So let's say, for example, I downloaded all the submissions here. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I will open the zip file, and I can see here that each student has its own folder with his answer. So it could check, let's say, if all students have the same answer, they were all answered correctly. For example, here, so I can see the answer for every student. Okay, and really the file or the folder is really organized. It has the student name. Okay, so I can just go here and set the grade to 100. without the need to go one by one. And then I could choose the notify students and then click save all quick grading changes. Okay. This will allow you to do the grading more quickly for a group of students, for example. So you could just first download all their old submissions, check them all. And if you just do the grading here, you could just use the quick grading option. Okay. Also, you have the option here to filter, for between, for all between all submissions. You want to filter for assignments that are not submitted, but in our case, all assignments have been submitted, or all submitted. If I want to filter by all submitted assignments, so I can list all the submitted assignments here. Okay. So let me go back to my course, and maybe now I will show you how to manage the grade book. Okay. So we created quizzes, created some assignments. So let me know how to manage the grade book. So I will go to grades. I will click on grades. Sorry. And then I will click on setup. And as you can see here, here the grade book is configured to calculate the sum of all elements, of all module exams, of all of the final exam, and the practice text, and the quizzes that I just created, and the assignments. That's why you can see the course total has been changed from 100 to 500 because I added more. Because I added more sections like the practice quiz and the assignment quiz. Okay. So if I want to adjust that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a category, 4 categories. Okay. A category for the module test where I'm going to include all the module tests inside. And instead of calculating the sum of all the module exam, I'm going to calculate the mean of grades. Okay. I will do the same I will create a second category for the final exam, for the course feedback, the assessment center. We'll include them in the new category, and then I will calculate the mean of grades. Same for the practice quiz and final practice quiz, and for the assignment option for the assignment as well. So let me now create a new category for my module exams. I will create add categories. I will set module exams, and then I will set the aggregation to mean of grades. Okay. I will click on Save Changes. I will choose my module exams, and I will move them to my module exams category. Okay, we'll create a new category for my final exam. Set the aggregation to mean of grades. Save changes. And then I will add the element of my final exam to this new category. Move selected items to final exam. And it's left to create the categories for my quizzes and my assignment. So I will add a category for my quizzes. Set the aggregation to mean of grades. Save changes. And I will move them to quizzes. And finally, I will create the category for my assignments. Set the aggregation to mean of grades. Save changes. Then I will transfer them under this new category. Then I click on Save Changes. Okay. So as you can see now, from each category, I will have the mean. I will calculate the mean of grades of each category. So each category will have a total grade of 100. But still, we need to fix something. We have the course total is 400, and we need it to be set to 100. So what we are going to do, I will go to the parent category of my course, which is here, and I'm going to set I click on Edit, then Edit Settings, and I will set the aggregation to weighted mean of grades. Okay. So here I'm going to calculate the mean of grades for my 4 categories. Okay. And I will give them, okay, and I choose the weighted option, so to give more weights to some categories, bigger weights to some categories rather than the others. Let me show you how. For example, if I want to give more weight for my module exams and for my final exam, so I could set the weight a higher weights for these categories, higher weights rather than the more weights for these categories than the other categories that I just created, like the quizzes and the assignments. Let me show you how. Okay. So I will go to the weighted. I will choose weighted mean of grades. Save changes. And as you can see here, the course total now became 100. And here, if I want to change the weight of each category, for me, I could set the category for my the weight for my module exams to 60%. For my final exam, I could set it to 30%. My quizzes is less important than the other categories, so I will set it to 5. And for my assignment, I will set it to 5. Then I will click on Save. So as you can see here, I just calculated the mean of grades for all of our 4 categories, and also I set a weight for each category. So I gave a higher weight to the module exams and the final exam rather than the quizzes and the assignments. Okay, for me, the module exams and the final exam are need to have more importance rather than the customized quizzes and the assignments. So that's how you could just adjust to adjust the total grade for our course and how to apply weights as well. Okay, and for sure you could just apply any weight, any weights that you want to configure for each category. Okay, you are free to change the weights as you wish. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna click on Save Changes. Also, I just want to show you the view. You could also click on Grade Report and View if you want to check the grade book for your students. If you want to modify the grades, you can just click on Turn Editing On, and for example, modify the grades for Module 1. You could just add the grades as you wish. Then click on Save Changes. If you want, there is also another view which is called Single View. You could just filter by user to see all his grades. If you want to change them, and to perform, for example, bulk insert, you could just click on Perform Bulk Insert and replace all the empty grades by, for example, 80, and just click on Save. Okay, then click on continue. So you can see now all the grades are updated for Tarek, for example, here. If I want to filter by module, I could just, or by an activity, I can do that. I could just, for example, select module 5 test. And if I want to also perform bulk insert, I could just set it to 100, just click on save, and then all the grades for this module will be updated for all of my 3 students. Okay, so that's regarding how to configure the gradebook and how to modify the grades. Okay. Okay. Also, if you want to see if your students are marked, course are marked as completed, you can just go to the icon, to the gear icon, check more, and to go to the reports, go to the course completion, and here you can see the students who completed the course or the status of your students. Okay. 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 So now we have one last topic to cover, which is how to import customization from one course to another. Okay. So let's say we are going to create a new course, a new Get Connected course, and I want to have these customizations that I just made here to import it to the new course. So let me show you how. But before, there is a very important hint. You need, before doing the import, you need to make sure that the order of the topics in the source course and the target course are the same. Okay. So, for example, if you are going to create new topics, it's better to leave them at the end of the course. After the end of course. Okay, in order to maintain the same order between the source course and the target one. Okay. Okay, so let me show you how to import it. How I'm going to import our customization. So I will go to I created a target or a new course. It's called the target, Get Connected target. Then I will go to the gear icon, click on import, and then I'm going to choose the source course that I created. Okay. Okay, we have many, so let me try this one. Continue. And regarding the all import settings, let's leave all options here. We will not deselect anything, and then click on next. Okay, so here I selected a wrong course. Let me try again. I'm going to select this one. I will leave the import settings as it is, then click on next. Okay, so here I'm going to select the content that I need to import to my new course. So in order to avoid duplicate entries, you will have to select only the section or the topics that you have created, or the customization that you have made in the first course or in the previous course. So for me, I'm gonna deselect. I'm gonna just select only my customization. So I'm gonna deselect everything else. Module 1. I didn't do any customization on module 2. For module 3, I just going to leave, my video, my file. I'm going to import my file, video, and my diagram. So I'm going to just remove the original content from module 3 to avoid duplication. I will remove module 4, module 5, and of course, and I'm going to import, the quizzes and my assignments. So I will import my quizzes, my assignments, and the resources that I added to module 3. Then I will click on Next. Perform import. Continue. And as you can see here in my new course, I will see the customization that I made in my previous course. So here, module 3 is updated with my resources. And I can see also the new topics that I created at the source. Okay? Okay. Let me show you what will happen if we didn't maintain the same order of topics at the source and the target course. Okay? So I will return back to my source course. Let's say I change the order and I put the quizzes section between module 5 and the end of course. Okay? Okay, let's go back to the target course. And I will remove the customization that I imported. Okay. So as you can see here, the topics order is 1, 2, 3, module 3, 4, 5, and of course, and at the source course we have a different order. We have module 4, module 5, then we created, we added the quizzes in between module 5 and end of course. So the orders are not the same. So if we're going to do click on import now, what will happen that the content of my quizzes section will be merged within the content here of my target course. I will show you how. So that's why it's really important to maintain the order. Okay. So let's show you how. I will click on the gear icon, turn editing off, click on import. I will choose my course, the source course for 1. Click on continue. I will leave the import settings as it is. Then click on next. I will only import my customizations. I already imported module 3. I will not do it again. Okay, and here is the location of my quizzes between module 5 and the end of course at the source, and the assignment after the end of course. Okay, so I'm going to click on next, and then perform import. Continue. And then, as you can see here, the quizzes section, content has been, merged with the end of course content, with the final exam. Okay, and for example, the import, even the section was not here imported here correctly. The name was not correct. So in order to avoid that, if you want, for example, let me show you it. So let me go back to the source course. So here we change the order. We have module 5, we have quizzes, and end of course. So before doing the import action from the target course, you have to maintain the same order. So we will create a new section at the target that is called quizzes, and we'll leave it empty. And this section will be located between module 5 and end of course. Okay. to maintain the same order of topics. Let me show you how. So I will return back to the target course. Okay, let me remove the content that was imported from our first attempt. Okay, I will remove this. Okay, so now that's our course. Let me here add a new section between module 5 and end of course. That is our new topic that is called quizzes. So I'm going to add a topic. Change the name to quizzes. And I will locate it here to maintain the same order as the source course. So we have now module 5 quizzes and end of course. So now we are good to go. I will click on import, choose the source file, click on continue, import settings. Next, I will select only my customizations. Module 4, Module 5. I will import my quizzes section and my assignment. I click on next, then perform import. Then continue. So now we are at the target. We perform the import. You can see here that the import has been done correctly. We have the practice quiz and the final practice quiz has been imported correctly to our section, our empty section quizzes. It's now filled with this content correctly, and we are having the assignment section added correctly or also at the end of the course. So you have two options, whether to leave all the new customized topics at the end of the course, or to create or to reorder or to create, as I did, to maintain the order by creating, an empty section at the target to maintain the same order as the source. And by this, I think I have reached the end of my demonstration. So thank you for watching the recording, and please let me know. Please feel free to get back to me if you have any questions. Thank you and have a great day.